Hi, I'm Virginia from Right Clinic, and here with me today is Ransom Onyema. He is a fourth year radiography medical student, top rated medical writer, all the way from Nigeria, and also a fellow podcast creator. So, thank you so much for joining me today, Ransom.
Thank you, Virginia, for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. So, let's get into it. What do you do, and how did you get started?
All right, so you've already talked about me a little bit. I started writing professionally in 2020 when I was my first year in school as a radiography medical student. And way back, I was writing, you know, other things like personal statements for people looking forward to, traveling abroad out from my country. I was writing the personal statement to get scholarships from people, but I wasn't doing it professionally. So when I moved into the university, I say, hey, because I love writing medical stuff way back. So, I started writing from my first year, and that was the first time I bagged an international gig on Upwork when I was paid for $5 for it. That was on December period, like getting to the Christmas period. I was like a very big boy then. Like $45 was really big money for me then. So that really made me to grow, and moving forward. I also did some courses on Upwork, did some courses on Coursera, Udemy, on clinical writings and all such, to increase my writing prowess. And also my courses I do with med school, pharmacology, pathology, histology, radiation anatomy, all these courses also engrossed me to be more proficient in terms of writing, clinical writings and medical writing. So, in a nutshell, from now, 2020 to 2024 has been a very great year for me in my writing, but there is trends, me in Nigeria writing for international gigs, but never think I just keep moving regardless of what happens. So yeah.
Amazing. I really admire your determination. And I think also it's so important to try and put yourself out there to work with international clients. And it's amazing how you've really kept going for 4 years and you've just been getting better and better. And I suppose the next question is, what are your top tips for people who want to become a medical writer like you? How would you advise them to get started?
I would say first, if you have a medical background, it's leverage for you. Like if you're studying any kind of medical course, is leverage, but it's not. Not one of the symptoms to be a writer, but is a leverage. It's an addition to what you can offer to the team. So I would say if you have a medical background, I would say that the courses you do, your med school can also help you develop writing skills. If you're really engrossed in being a medical writer, the courses you do in med school can also improve writing practice. I would say you need to get a solid understanding about the medical terminologies used, right, in terms of writing, because you're writing for a wider audience. You're not writing for specific people. People that are not into the medical aspect can come across writing publications. So how are you gonna tell people that are not in the medical aspect, people in the tech, people in engineering, how to, the things you're talking about? It's by, breaking down the medical jargons. You need to have a very solid understanding about that. For instance, if you're writing about a medical clinical writing for a wider audience about, hypertension, not people know about what hypertension is all about. You just have to just say high blood pressure. It's a little understandable for a wider audience that hypertension, because not too many people know what hypertension is all about. You can also say low blood pressure, like hypotension. So learn how to, break down the medical jargons for people to really understand what you're saying. And I would say you need to have the third one I'm going to say, you need to have a good storytelling. If you can't tell stories, I'm not sure you can, you know, entice people with your writing, because in my little experience with my medical writing, I noticed that using visuals, using storytelling can make people, really adamant or really enthusiastic to read more. For instance, if you're talking about the metabolism in the body system, you're writing something, and rather than using all those jargon, you can use a car and a fuel. You can use other things just to get what you want. So you have to you know pay attention to the courses you do in med school. If you're medical students like me, get engrossed with the courses so they can be grounded about things related to med terms. And the second one is learn how to break down the medical jargons and the medical terminologies. And the third one is you have to learn how to tell stories with your writings. So
That's great. I agree. I think if you are trying to create a piece of writing for a wide audience, then storytelling and analogies are much easier to understand for people. And like you said, it gets them excited to read more. And that's when you know that your writing is actually doing a good job because it's helping to give people the information that they need, which can affect their health. So, what would you say is one of your favorite clients that you've worked with? You don't need to say their name, but what's a project that you've worked on recently that you're really excited about?
I would say a cardiologist in the UK I works with, that was the beginning of this year. She's a cardiologist, but she's a Cameroonian British. She's from Cameroon, Africa, and she owned a foundation that, a medical foundation that tell people about the disadvantages and advantages of some medical terms, something like that. So she needed some writers to help write to a wide audience, and break down those things like I talked about to people that, especially back home in Africa, that don't really know about the med terms or something. So, and she owns a newsletter that she disperses every Thursday. So, she saw my writing, one of my publications on Medium. She was like really enticed, and she messaged me on LinkedIn, and got on a call, and and I wrote for her for like it was a 2 months contract, and she loved it, and I brought that thing she wanted into limelight. That really gives me more energy to deliver that people really appreciate where I delivered, on the table. So I'm really happy that I worked with her because what she imagined in her, mindset, really came to pass through me. And so it was amazing stuff. And I started my happiness that I started over a newsletter because she always write in French language. It was only based on Cameroonians, people that can speak French. So I told her that I was able to share my ideas on it's not only in French, because not all people that know French or something. So you can also write in English as well. So I write in English, so we make it in two verses. She can, translate to French and also in English and disperse every Thursday. So I'm really blessed that I could offer something to see for her.
That's really interesting because I think not a lot of people think about translating the information that they write into different languages so they can reach a wider audience. So it's nice that you were able to team up and reach everyone through the newsletter in English and in French. So that sounds like a great job and you had a great impact with the newsletter with your writing. So what's next on the horizon for you? What are you looking forward to progress in your career? Or what would you like to talk more about that you're working on right now?
I would say I need more clients that pays my writing price, because med school is really expensive right now. So people pay for my services is also helping me to pay for some things in my school, to get me moving forward. So I need more paying clients, like pay for my services. And also I'm looking forward to writing a book. and authors, because it's on my playlist, and if I get guest speakers on my YouTube channel, because I talk about two things on my YouTube channel. I talk about general mental talks. My YouTube channel, is where I have to see what you do, especially medical doctor, as a whatever medical profession you are, to get more quickly. Practice some questions from you to answer for the audience to get more enlightened, and to talk about freelance medical writing as well, where I get to invite guest speakers. I need guest speakers. I'm looking forward to writing a book, and I need more clients, like more clients. So yeah, thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank you for sharing everything that you have said during today's podcast. I hope everyone that was listening or watching, you really had some great insights into more about what Ransom has been going through as a medical writer and also as a radiography medical student as well. So I wish you all the best in graduating from medical school. And thank you so much for today's episode. I look forward to your book as well. And definitely check out Ransom's podcast. Leave a link to his LinkedIn and his YouTube channel and his Instagram as well, all in the description box below. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.